Στο προηγούμενο βίντεο αφήσαμε τον Jonathan Reid στην αρχή του 4ου κεφαλαίου, εκεί όπου πάει να παρουσιαστεί σε κάποιο ελιτιστικό κλαμπ στο οποίο συμμετέχουν βαμπύρ και μη. Εμείς σαν βαμπάιρες και πάμε να παίξουμε. Λοιπόν, κάποια στιγμή μάλλον θα πρέπει να τον αναβαθμίσω και λίγο.
So, time to visit the Ascalon Club.
Αυτό είπα κι εγώ. Το οποίο είναι, προσπαθώ να κινήσω το χάρτη εντωμεταξύ και ξεχνάω ότι ο χάρτης κινείται με πάνω κάτω. Έχει ένα διάλογο όμως με το γιατρό, τον οποίον λέω να πάω να τον κάνω πρώτα και μετά να... Όπα. Γιατί νέος διάλογος, καλέ, τώρα σε άφησα. Τι νέος διάλογος. Για πάμε να δούμε τι ακριβώς εννοεί εδώ. Πού είναι η κοπελιά? Πού είσαι, μαντάμ? Ανάτι εδώ, ζωγραφίζει. Τι ζωγραφίζεις, κυρία μου? Εμένα ζωγραφίζει. Άχου τι μωρέ.
Hello again, Jonathan.
Sorry to disturb you again, but
Of course, my dear.
do you know if the epidemic has affected many people in the West End?
I confess I've been more concerned by events in the East End.
Τώρα σου ήρθε να
The
τα
wealthy
ρωτήσεις, ρε
have
φίλε,
more
αυτά.
efficient ways of dealing with infection.
But this is no common epidemic.
That is true. I must tell my daughter to stay at home for a few days, but the girl is stubborn and fiercely independent.
Κόρη,
Much like her mother.
κόρη. Κόρη είπες. Και γιατί εσύ δεν τη ρωτάς?
Concerning your investigation,
Yes.
are you truly seeking to identify my maker?
I cannot promise you anything, but yes. I am conducting some research of my own.
Do you think we shall ever see better days? Or at least better nights?
I know not, Jonathan. I have seen some horrid days in my long lifetime. Experience has taught me that one cannot outrun the fates.
When all of this is over, the war and the epidemic, we could leave the city for a while. Travel around Europe, you and I.
Traveling is always so complicated for us poor creatures of the night. But yes, I would be glad to travel the world with you, my dear.
Καλά είπα εγώ, έχουμε και ρομάτζο.
Will you tell me your story one day, Lady Ashbury?
One of them, perhaps. I have had so many lives, Jonathan. Eternity may not be enough to relate them all.
Σιγά βρε εσύ, σιγά.
Goodbye, Elizabeth.
Α, τώρα τι λέει και η Ελίζαμπεθ. Άντε πάλι τώρα να φορτώσει. Απλά δεν έχω την υπομονή στο edit να τα κόψω αυτά τα σημεία, είναι η αλήθεια. Λοιπόν, έχουμε τίποτα άλλο τώρα? Όχι. Πάμε να δούμε, ας βάλω ένα μάρκερ εδώ, γιατί αν δεν έχω κάτι να με οδηγεί, χάνομαι. Ακούω διάφορα. Καμιά φορά μου έβγαζε ότι έχει και κάποιους να σώσω. Τώρα που έχουν πάει αυτοί, γιατί δεν μου εμφανίζει κι άλλα. Εδώ λες να είναι το δωμάτιό μου. Όχι, είναι κλειστά. Όχι, καμία σχέση. Το ακούω. Νομίζω ότι έφτασε στο νοσοκομείο, εντάξει. Αυτό εδώ δεν το είχα προσέξει. Ακόμα μέσα στο νοσοκομείο δεν έχω μάθει να κινούμαι. Αυτό είναι αλήθεια. Θα αρχίσω να γκρινιάζω, είναι δράμα το loading που έχει. The old morgue, καλά. Λάθος μπήκα. Δεν ήταν να μπω εδώ. Καλά. Τώρα. Σε λίγο θα ακούτε τα νυχάκια μου πάνω στο τραπέζι, αυτό το της ανυπομονησίας. Άιντε καλό μου. Εντάξει, τουλάχιστον εδώ η πόρτα άνοιξε. Και για να δούμε τι έχει ο γιατρός να μας πει.
Hello, Jonathan. Back from the city already? How is the situation over there?
Tense, to say the least.
I am sure every obstacle will cede to your relentless determination. In the meantime, can I be of any help?
Did you know that Lady Ashbury is an artist? And rather a good one.
Well, actually, yes. I attended an exhibition of her paintings before the war.
Έχει κάνει και εκθέσεις
Stunning portraits.
η βαμπύρισα.
Perhaps we could go to her next exhibition, you and I.
What a beautiful idea, Jonathan. Did you know she told me once she had been a model for famous painters? But she never told me which ones.
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave?
Oh, the legendary founder of the Ascalon Club. I'm afraid I cannot help you with that, Jonathan.
So you do know him?
All the Brotherhood knows about him is highly confidential. He is dangerously intimate with the royal family and Britain's inner circles.
Φτάνουνε πολύ ψηλά τα πλοκάμια του.
No, but since most ancient vampires were killed or fled England during the Great Hunt of 1850, he may be the oldest British vampire. A myth in the flesh, so to speak.
Ένας ζωντανός μύθος.
What can you tell me about the Great Hunt?
A sad story, my dear friend. Tragic, in fact. The Brotherhood was betrayed by some of its most trusted members.
Tell me about the betrayal.
The founders of the Guard of Priwen stole precious and unique documents and reports from the Brotherhood's library when they left. They used them to identify and locate their next targets.
Why was it a tragedy?
Not only did the Guard of Priwen hunt down and kill most ancient vampires of England, they also destroyed or confiscated their possessions. Priceless knowledge was lost in just a few nights.
I shall return later. Thank you, Edgar.
Ναι. Πάμε να βγάλουμε το μάρκερ από εδώ και να βγούμε. Μου κάνει εντύπωση γιατί εκτός και αν δεν κατάφερα να τα βρω, έχει κάποια σημεία ας πούμε που μπορούσε να σε αφήσει να κρυφακούσεις. Συχνά εμφάνιζε κάποια σημεία στο χάρτη που είχε κάποιον να βοηθήσεις κάποιο πολίτη. Έχω ώρα να δω κάτι τέτοιο. Και δεν ξέρω φυσικά αν πάω σωστά από εδώ. Μήπως να πάω από εδώ που ήρθα, να ακολουθήσω αυτό το δρόμο δηλαδή. Και φυσικά χωρίς κάποιο μάρκερ στο χάρτη δεν υπάρχει περίπτωση να καταφέρω τίποτα. Hint για όλους αυτούς δεν μου έχει ανοίξει. Και έχω βρει τώρα εδώ που το θυμηθήκαμε. Εδώ πέρα έχω βρει για τον να επιστρέψω στον τέτοιον, εδώ στον μπάρμαν που μου έδωσε το κλειδί και βρήκα κάτι ποτά, κάτι τέτοια. Αλλά πού είναι αυτό? Λοιπόν, το πρώτο μάρκερ το περάσαμε, οπότε ας το βγάλουμε. Ούτως ή άλλως είναι λιγάκι στο δρόμο μου. Λιγάκι, από εδώ. Λιγάκι στο δρόμο μου, να παρηγοριέμαι. Τον κακό στον καιρό που θα με πεις πίσω φυσείτε εμένα. Και κάπου ακούγονται ουρλιαχτά. Τέλος πάντων, πάμε εκεί τώρα που σκεφτόμουν να πάω. Λύκους ακούμε να βουλιάζουνε. Κι άλλους εδώ. Τώρα ξέρετε τι ψάχνω, καλά, και απομακρύνομαι. Απομακρύνομαι πάρα πολύ. Εσύ εδώ ποιος είσαι? Α, νάτος. Αυτός.
Have you heard anything about Sean Hampton's shelter?
That bastard's become something of a holy man these days. Someone should remind him who really rules the docks.
Goodbye.
Τον κακό στον καιρό. Κάτσε τώρα αν καταφέρουμε να βρούμε τον μπαρ πάλι. Εσύ ποιος είσαι εδώ, σε ξέρω.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Why must it always be a good evening?
I was just being polite. I'm
Don't like questions or doctors. And the name is Seymour Fishburne, if you must know.
What's your occupation?
I take care of my mum. That's what I do. She's the only good thing in my life. Even though I don't treat her so good.
Sometimes it's hard to be a good son.
I just want her to smile. Know I was thankful for her patience, appreciated like... God knows she deserves it.
You seem upset. Is something bothering you?
I lost the necklace I bought her. I'm a fucking idiot. A worthless idiot.
What can you tell me about this part
Ωραία,
of town?
πήραμε άλλο
Shithole
ένα
filled
side
with
quest.
maggots. Liars and thieves, all of them.
Are you thinking about someone in particular?
Nope. Hate them all. Especially these petty, whining little shitbag beggars.
Is there no one who deserves your leniency then?
Well, Tom from our local is somewhat of a decent bloke. At least, unlike most maggots, he knows how to listen without opening his trap.
Have you heard anything
I don't give a rat's arse about Shornhampton, his shelter, or any of the losers who sleep there.
Aren't you worried about the conditions here in London?
I've heard armed men have started patrolling the city, even killing the sick to stop the epidemic. Starting to like this city again.
Και δεν μας έχει δώσει κανένα hint ακόμα.
Goodbye, Mr. Fit.
Και πρέπει τώρα εγώ, σαν καλό παιδί, να ψάξω να βρω το μπαρ. Εδώ είναι. Α, ωραία, το βρήκα. Αυτός εδώ είναι ο φιλαράκος μας που είναι μονίμως μεθυσμένος. Έχει τίποτα εδώ?
Is there anything?
How dare you say so?
Τα έχουμε ξαναπεί αυτά. Hint δεν
I
έχουμε.
still sleep over there from time to time. A sad saint still manages the place, even if he's a little bit more reclusive since he returned.
Και δεν μας έδωσε και κανένα hint. Να σκάσεις και αν πλαντάξεις.
So few clients. What with the epidemic, no one dares go outside.
Εδώ η κοπελιά έχει τίποτα να μας
You
πει?
still working at this hour? That's what I call dedication.
Το λες και έτσι.
Have you heard anything about Sean Hampton's shelter?
I was told he caught a deadly disease but survived against all odds. Maybe he really is touched by grace.
Are you worried about the sanitary situation?
Of course I am. Everywhere's deserted, houses, streets all empty. People buying guns. We hear them go off every night. It's bloody frightening.
Goodbye, Miss Kevin.
Πότε πρόλαβες βρέσει και μπήκες μέσα?
Welcome back, Doctor.
You lied to me, Tom. Your warehouse wasn't empty. It was inhabited with armed vigilantes.
I'm sorry, Dr. Reed, but I thought those Pre-Wan guards would be willing to let someone like you pass without trouble.
That was devious of you, Tom. Next time you can bloody well go yourself.
I apologise, Doctor, but it's just that I prefer to avoid the law, its enforcers, and all manner of thugs in uniform. Here
Άντε
is your
μωρέ.
booze.
I hope it will appease your customers. Just try not to kill anyone with this poison of yours.
Believe me, Doctor, most of my customers are less agreeable when sober.
Για να δούμε τώρα. Κάποιο hint πρέπει να άνοιξε.
Why does your waitress feel in danger working on the docks?
This part of town is dangerous for all, but for women it's worse, as always. Sabrina is a brave girl, but she can't help feeling in danger.
Do you think she has good reason to feel this way? Are you not worried about her safety?
Of course I am. The truth is, she's tougher than me deep inside. She just has to learn to control it.
Έχει ανοίξει κάτι άλλο?
Have you got any recent...
It's still there, just like the turquoise turtle.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
Δεν έχει να μας πει κάτι άλλο.
Perhaps I should shut the turquoise for a time.
Λες. Για ποιον μιλάει? Έχουμε τίποτα να του δώσουμε αυτού εδώ του χριστιανού.
Good evening, Mr. Delaney.
What? Oh, you're that doctor.
Goodbye. Good evening, Mr. Delaney.
What? Oh, you're that doctor.
Ναι, εγώ είμαι.
Inebriation aside.
Yes.
Θα σου δώσω κάτι.
Hey, Doc, you don't really want me to stop the only remedy.
Ανεμία,
Are you worried about
More.
Τίποτα. Τίποτα.
goodbye?
Όλα καλά μέχρι εδώ. Εσύ πότε έφυγες και γύρισες? Λοιπόν, θα φύγει από εδώ αυτό και θα έρθει... θα έρθουμε εδώ. Αυτός είναι αυτός που μιλήσαμε πριν. Πού πάω ρε γαμώτο, γιατί? Προσανατολισμός, ό,τι χειρότερο, έτσι. Δεν το έχω καθόλου. Φάγαμε και έναν εδώ. Από εδώ ήρθα. Πρέπει να πάω προς τα δω. Προς τα δω όμως... Αυτός εδώ είναι ο κακότροπος ο τύπος, δεν έχω όρεξη να του ξαναμιλήσω τώρα. Και ερχόμαστε μέχρι εδώ.
It's locked.
Πού πήγα και χάθηκα πάλι? Αλήθεια, πού πήγα και χάθηκα? Τι δουλειά έχω εκεί? Αχ, κάπως πρέπει να έρθω πάλι εδώ. Τέτοια κάνω και πηγαίνω μετά και χάνομαι και κάθομαι μετά και γκρινιάζω γιατί χάθηκα. Κρίμα που δεν μπορώ να μπω μέσα στα σπίτια. Λοιπόν, τώρα πρέπει να έρθω εδώ. Δεν θα σε αφήσω τώρα να λοξοδρομήσεις. Αλήθεια. Α, εδώ ήταν πριν που συνάντησα αυτόν που με δημιούργησε. Λοιπόν, τώρα που πάμε. Φεύγει από εδώ αυτό. Και τώρα νομίζω ότι είμαι σε αρκετά καλό σημείο για να χρησιμοποιήσω το σημάδι του παιχνιδιού. Τον κακό σου τον καιρό. Έλα. Νόμιζα ότι είσαι κάποιος που θα μπορούσα να μιλήσω. Λοιπόν, εδώ είναι το σπίτι της τύπισσας. Και κάπου εδώ μάλλον περνάω από εδώ. Αν δεν περνάς έτσι εύκολα θα στο έκαναν. Πρέπει να βρεις άλλο δρόμο, μαντάμ. Πάω από γύρω-γύρω. Ή από εδώ δεν με αφήνει. Ας πάω από γύρω-γύρω. Να δούμε. Σημάδια από αίμα. Και αρκετό κιόλας. Γιατί... Ωρε φίλε, κάτι είναι εδώ. Το είδα τώρα με το τέτοιο. Ωρε φίλε, σκοτωμός γίνεται εδώ. Και εγώ τι δουλειά έχω να πάω εδώ που γίνεται σκοτωμός, για εξήγησέ μου. Άσε με να τρέξω ρε φίλε. Ναι, πιο αργά να πηγαίνεις.
That was the vampire I saw earlier. This war takes no prisoners. It's locked, all right.
Ωραία, και εγώ τώρα τι θέλεις να κάνω? Δεν ανεβαίνεις πουθενά από εδώ. Κάτι μου λέει ότι έχει αρχίσει και με δουλεύει το παιχνίδι.
The West End. Never have I felt so sad to be back home.
Εσένα θα σε φάω. Όπα. Έλα. Είναι 26 και είμαι 16. Καλά, βέβαια είπαμε, το έχω στο... Έλα, πάρ' το. Και πού ήτανε πριν τα μεγάλα τα... Περνάει τρένο. Ας δουλεύει. Τα ακούω τώρα, είναι πολύ κοντά μου. Αυτό άκουγα. Α. Είναι και ο μεγάλος εδώ. Όπα. Έλα. Τις φάγαμε. Αλλά τώρα θα σε τελειώσω, εντάξει. Ακούγονται κι άλλα πάντως. Πού είμαι? Πάλι απομακρύνομαι. Βγες από εδώ και έλα αριστερά. Καλύτερα τώρα? Ωραία.
The Ascalon Club, the heart of British vampire society. Not quite as subtle as I expected. Good evening, miss.
Για να δούμε αυτή την κοπελιά. Και εσύ που το ξέρεις?
Wait, no. Why do you think I would... What?
Don't worry, Dr. Reed. I know you wouldn't harm me. Mother told me you were in this part of town and might drop by.
Η κόρη της τέτοιας.
Charlotte Ashbury. My mother taught me long ago how to recognize the signs that betray a vampire.
I understand she also taught you how to tease and gently mock innocent young Ekons. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Charlotte.
Πάμε πάλι. Α, εντάξει.
What do you think about this part of town?
I was raised here and I suppose it feels like home. You grew up in this part of town too, did you not?
Yes, I was born a few streets away.
A small world, is it not? Did you ever imagine that my mother was your neighbor all that time? That you could have met her in a dark alley at night?
You won't trick me twice, young lady. We both know Lady Ashbury never hunts or attacks prey at random.
Come on, Doctor. Don't tell me you never thought about that possibility. Her fangs on your neck. Oh, are you blushing, Dr. Reed?
Δεν με αφήνει να γυρίσω την κάμερα να το δω.
Is there something that's bothering you?
Too much selfishness and individualism for my taste, even when there was no epidemic.
Even if that's partly true, may I remind you that many charitable institutions are financed by the selfish and filthy rich.
I suppose you're right, but society must reform and renew itself or we are all done for.
Tell me about your adoption.
What do you want to know?
Ας μάθουμε πρώτα
How did you
γιατί...
meet Lady
αγαπητή μας
First, I
βαμπύρισα.
was an orphan in the institution for girls she manages in the West End. When I was 10, she adopted me, and I have lived with her ever since.
Did you know she was a vampire when she picked you?
The correct word is Ekon, Doctor. And no, I had no idea why my mother only showed up at night. She told me everything when I turned 16, though I suspected the truth for a long time before that.
Who are your real parents?
Elizabeth Ashbury is my real mother. She raised me and has taken care of me all my life. I have no idea who my progenitors are or were.
Do you live with her?
I still spend a lot of time in my mother's mansion, but I have my own house now. I have a life to live, you see, and one day I'll have my death to face.
What are you doing out here?
You mean what do I do outside at night since I am a woman? Let me ask you a question, sir. Would you ask the same question of a man?
Ναι, το έχει κάνει αρκετές φορές γιατί είναι επικίνδυνο εδώ έξω.
Well, if you must know, I campaign for the right to vote for all women. Why should I wait to the age of 30 years when men can vote at 21?
Ακτιβίστρια.
Are you a suffragette then? Oh, you really are Elizabeth's girl. Without a doubt.
All adult women have the right to vote in the US, in New Zealand, and in Australia. But women here can't vote unless they are property owners.
No need to convince me, Miss Charlotte. I have shared your opinion for a long time. Even before I met Emmeline Pankhurst.
Really? Oh. Now I see why my mother appreciates you so much. Too bad there aren't more men like you in the vicinity.
How are the locals reacting to your claims?
People here can't wait for a wall to be built to isolate the West End from the rest of town. That's how progressive they are. If this happens, Emily and I will blow it up.
Explosives are very dangerous, young lady.
Ναι, ποια είναι η Emily, όντως.
She is my best friend, and a suffragette too. She was supposed to campaign with me tonight, but hasn't turned up.
Have you any reason to be worried about her?
Recently, Emily started to believe in... well, she got interested in vampires. I'm afraid she might be in trouble.
Let me guess. You spoke to her about us, didn't you? Despite your mother's warning. I think I should try to find your friend.
Oh, that would be top-notch. I can tell you where she might have gone. You have my thanks, Dr. Reed. And please, don't tell my mother.
Ωραία, αποκτήσαμε και νέο quest,
Exactly
στο οποίο θα πάω πρώτα, σίγουρα.
Your name and profession, obviously, and the mystery about your maker. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your sister, sir. Mother says it was not your fault.
Does it not scare you to know what I am? What your mother is?
Why should it? My mother is the most compassionate woman. Must I be wary of her, Dr. Reed? Or you?
No.
Of course not. You have nothing to fear from me or your mother.
Good to know. And don't worry, my mother told me everything I need to know about vampire tricks, their nature as well as features.
Your mother is not like any other vampire I've met.
I believe she thinks the same about you, Dr. Reed.
Do you know why Lady Ashbury chose you to become her daughter?
No, I don't. Each time I ask her that question, she smiles and says it's precisely because I dare to ask such questions.
Do you ever regret that she chose you?
Of course not. Though I often wonder if she adopted others before me. If so, where are they buried? How was it for them to pass through life with a never-aging mother?
Ναι, αυτό είναι ένα θεματάκι. Θα χρειαστούμε και άλλα hint μάλλον κάποια στιγμή.
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
Θα τη συναντήσουμε, λέει, εμείς πιο σύντομα. Ωραία, για να δούμε τώρα. Κάπου πρέπει να βρω, λέει, τη φίλη της. Έχει κάπου να λέει τα quest μου. Έχει εδώ πέρα διάφορους τύπους. Εδώ έχει δύο που δεν έχω βρει ακόμα. Και εδώ είναι στα dock. Εδώ είναι στο... πώς το λένε? Στο νοσοκομείο. Α, αυτή την ξέχασα. Αυτούς τους δύο τους ξέχασα. Υπάρχει περίπτωση να μπορώ να τους βρω. Αυτός τι θέλει για ανεμία. Αυτός εδώ έχει μεγάλο πρόβλημα, Τέλος πάντων, λοιπόν. Εδώ δείχνει και και κάθε φορά θα ανοίγει και ένα καινούριο μάλλον, Ήθελα κάπου να μου δείξει αυτό που δεν είχα δει, είναι ότι κάνει και zoom in και zoom out. Αυτό πρώτη φορά το παρατηρώ. Όχ! Το σπίτι μου. Θα πάω σπίτι μου. Περιμένετε λιγάκι. Αν μ' αφήνει δηλαδή να μπω.
Good evening, Avery.
Mr. Jonathan? I can't believe my own eyes. Oh, it's a miracle. We all thought you were... Oh, sir, your poor sister. What a tragedy.
I know,
Ναι, το
Avery.
ξέρω.
I know about my sister's murder.
Εγώ
Miss
ήμουνα.
Reed expected you to return to assist with the funeral, right up until the last minute. Where have you been, Mr. Jonathan? We needed you here.
Και πού να ξέρεις.
I'm sorry I could not be here for Mary's funeral.
Your mother was strong, sir, but your support would have been appreciated. Apart from the priest and I, no one else attended your sister's funeral.
To be present at the funeral with you both was my dearest wish, Avery. But I am sorry, I simply could not attend.
I would not dare to question your absence, Mr. Jonathan. All I can say is that we missed you a great deal during these difficult days.
How is my mother?
Not well, I'm afraid, sir. Miss Reed is very fragile since the police brought her back home.
The police? What happened?
Miss Reed was found walking in the streets. She kept saying she had spoken with her son and daughter. She's resting now.
Perhaps we could arrange a short trip. Somewhere sunny, like France. She has always been very fond of France. I think leaving London could do her good.
I'm afraid Miss Reed is too frail for the moment. Recently she started going out at night without remembering it. I have to watch her carefully.
Has she received appropriate medical care?
I'm taking care of Miss Reed myself. Hospitals are so overwhelmed by the epidemic that they can only accept patients infected by influenza.
What is the situation in this part of town?
For a time, the West End seemed spared by the epidemic. But the situation is getting much worse.
Have you no relatives anywhere? I'll understand if you want to take a few days to see family.
Your father managed to guarantee my earnings as long as I take care of this house, sir. My sisters are dead, and I've never met my nephews. I'll stay, sir.
Και γι' αυτό να ανοίγουν αρκετά hint,
Tell me the truth, Avery. Do you feel forced to stay here? Would you leave this house without the arrangement made by my father?
No, sir. I have nowhere else to go. And I promised your father I'd take care of his family as long as I live.
This house is dead, Avery. There is a curse on this family. You really should consider leaving.
If only you could have been here sooner or more often. Maybe this house would not be that empty. But you're here now, sir, so my task is not over.
You have served this family extremely well, Avery. Your support during these terrible times is much appreciated.
Then I will stay. All I ask is that you take care of my own funeral if I die before the end of the epidemic. No mass grave, please, sir.
You really think I don't take enough care of my mother, Avery?
Yes, I do, Mr. Jonathan.
You clearly have something more to say. Speak your mind, Avery.
I know you work hard to help the sick, but what will you do once the epidemic is over?
My home is here, and I have nowhere else to go. But this house will need some improvements if I move here. Some radical changes.
That's good news. Whatever changes you have in mind, I'm sure we will find an arrangement that suits your mother also.
Ήμασταν εδώ και ας έρθουμε εδώ. Δεν έχει ανοίξει κάτι άλλο. Αυτά ήταν όλα. Μου λείπει ένα hint εδώ, Ωραία.
Goodbye, Avery. Please watch over my mother until I return.
Of course, Mr. Jonathan. But please return as soon as possible.
Πίνακες εδώ. Δείχνει πλούσιο και το σπίτι του γιατρού. Από εδώ μισό λεπτό γιατί πάλι... Λοιπόν, από εδώ μπήκα, έκανα τον κύκλο, μίλησα σε αυτόν και δεν έχει πουθενά άλλου να πάω. Θα βγω και θα πάω να ανέβω τα σκαλιά. Εδώ δεν μπορώ να μπω, εδώ δεν έχει τίποτα. Πίνακες παντού, δεν ξέρω αν αυτές αντικατοπτρίζουν πραγματικούς πίνακες. Αυτό εκεί πέρα μπορεί, κάτι μου θυμίζει αλλά δεν είμαι σίγουρη. Να! Η μητέρα, για να δούμε.
Good evening.
Jonathan, is it you? Where have you been, my prodigal son?
I'm right here, Mother. I'm finally home.
Yes, but this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and now found. But where is your sister? Where is Mary?
Μην τα σκαλίζεις τώρα πολύ κι εσύ.
She is gone, Mother.
I know she's gone. The question is, when will she return as you have? I miss my grandson so much. It's been days since their last visit.
Ούψ. Υπάρχει και εγγόνη.
Mother, do you know what's been going on in this area?
Not really. I don't go out much due to the epidemic, and when I do, I tend to get lost.
What do you mean you get lost? I hope you don't go outside alone.
Of course not. When I go out, your father always comes with me, but he leaves me there sometimes, and I have trouble finding the way back.
Εντάξει. Μάλλον έχει άνοια, Αλτσχάιμερ, κάτι από τα δύο τέλος πάντων.
I never want to go back to that awful place. Wait. I think I went back once. And you were there too. And Mary? No. That can't be true.
Όχι. Όνειρο ήταν, ακριβώς.
A nightmare, yes. Mary was so angry. I walked back home alone. If that kind policeman had not called Avery from the station, I don't know what would have happened.
Tell me, Mother, how are you? All alone in this big house with only Avery to take care of you.
I'm sad most of the time. Sad that you have left me here alone. Sad that you don't tell me when you come or go.
I'm so sorry, Mother. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I was coming home. I was home. London, Thames, and then it happened.
What happened, Johnny?
I lost my way. Somewhere between the boat and the house, my life changed completely.
You should have told me, Johnny. I would have understood. You always were a secretive little boy.
Have you returned to Whitechapel Cemetery since Mary?
I never...
It was just...
A nightmare.
Εντάξει, αυτά τα είδαμε. Personal.
Are you working on a new painting?
Not recently. I have trouble focusing on my subject and my mind quickly drifts. It's the same thing when I try to write poetry.
I recently met a talented painter with an excellent technique. I wish you two could meet. I'm sure you'd like her.
I'd be glad to meet her. What is her name? Is she famous? Is she dead too?
She's
What?
not famous, and her name is of no importance. And yes, she is also dead.
The important thing is, I hope you two get along. If she ever fancies meeting your mother, I'd be glad to welcome her into my home.
Δεν κατάλαβα τι έγινε τώρα. Κάτι έχασα. Τον ρωτάει, είναι και αυτή πεθαμένη, δηλαδή. Με μπέρδεψε τώρα.
Can I help you?
I just want you to stay with me, Jonathan. Your room is ready. I asked Avery to make your bed.
I'll stay as long as I can, I promise. Do you need anything else?
Just one thing. Stop staring at me like that. As much as I love you, it breaks my heart to look at those empty, dead eyes.
Έχει ξαφνιάσει τώρα αυτή πάρα
Do you
πολύ.
think Avery is right? Do you think I should take better care of you?
I don't blame you, but you abandoned me, son. A mother should not survive her children. It's unbearable to know you're not here anymore.
I know I have failed you since I returned. I even watched you bury Mary from a distance. From now on, I will protect you. You have my word.
You don't have to apologize to me, Johnny. Do you think I did not notice how much you have changed?
Have I changed that much, Mother? Am I still your son?
You are still, and you'll always be. Despite your pale skin, Your bloody eyes and that echoing sadness in your voice.
Wow. Με έχει αφήσει λίγο άφωνη η μαμά του γιατρού, αλλά και η αντίδραση του γιατρού είναι μα.
Why do you say Mary is visiting you, Mother? You know that's impossible.
Why should it be? Are you not standing in front of me right now? Why should it be any different with your sister?
But I'm not dead, Mother. I'm really here, talking to you, trying not to cry.
Oh, it breaks my heart to have to tell you this. But of course you're dead, my darling boy. Just look at you, as pale as my Mary.
But Mary really is dead, Mother.
Yes. And are you not dead too? Isn't your father dead? And my grandson, and my son-in-law? You're all gone. But you all still visit me from time to time.
What? Τώρα, αυτό είναι πολύ πιθανό να είναι στο μυαλό της.
I'm all right, son. Don't worry about me.
Έχει κανένα άλλο hint.
Why do you say Mary is...
Why should it be? Are you not standing in front of me?
Νομίζω τα είπαμε αυτά.
Goodbye, Mother. Try to rest now.
Goodbye, son. Please come back soon.
Και έχω, λέει, και καινούριο hideout, καινούριο μέρος στο οποίο μπορώ, λέει, να ξεκουραστώ. Ποιος μίλησε? Κάποιον άκουσα. Για φύγε λίγο έξω. Και πάμε λίγο έξω, γιατί κάποιος άκουσα να ζητάει βοήθεια. Για να δούμε ποιος είναι αυτός.
Good evening, sir. Please forgive me for disturbing you. I'm a doctor.
I never judge a man by his title, but by his attitude. And you are not disturbing me at all. I am Calhoun Russell, and I welcome you.
Well, I must admit it's good to receive a warm welcome for once. I'm Jonathan Reed.
Welcome, Dr. Reed. Welcome to my humble shop.
Do you have any family nearby?
Not since my parents died. I'm London's lone gourmet.
London's lone gourmet? What a strange title.
I used that name in my early years when I was a food critic, and I kept it.
Really? But you seem to be such a pleasant and sociable fellow.
I'm afraid the real hedonist has to be sometimes. I discovered ecstasy as a solitary pleasure, but it does not mean it can't ever be shared.
Με ενδιαφέρουσα άποψη. Και δεν έχουμε κανένα hint γι' αυτόν.
How is the situation in this part of town?
Life is good and peaceful. We're lucky to live in such an era of progress and wonders.
Are you not concerned about the epidemic?
Oh, I'm sure the authorities would take the appropriate measure if the danger were that high.
You cannot expect the newspapers to expose the truth while the war is still raging. I can assure you that the situation here is desperate.
Well, that's news then. But I can't believe that things are that bad. Are you sure you're not exaggerating a bit? For the thrill of it?
Hint.
Is it not a little too late to be trading?
On the contrary, it is the perfect hour. Believe me, my friend, it is always at night that you meet the most fascinating characters.
Αυτό δεν έχει και άδικο. Το βράδυ συναντάς τους πιο ενδιαφέροντες χαρακτήρες.
But what about the epidemic? The bombs and raids? And all the random violence?
Please, sir, this is London, England. We will prevail. And if a bomb must fall on my shop, then I'll be there to hear it falling.
Έτσι, ο καπετάνιος
So you
με το
prefer
παράβι
to
του.
work at night?
Oh, I also enjoy a sunny day like everybody else. But the night always has a certain je ne sais quoi of its own.
Τα γαλλικά μας μάραναν.
What can you tell me about this place?
I recently found the best steak and kidney pie in the city. I'd be glad to share the address if you want.
Φυσικά και θέλω.
Finding a good restaurant? Is that really all that interests you?
Oh, I have many passions, but nothing brings me ecstasy like subtle and exquisite flavors from my teeth to my belly.
I must confess, I have quite specific tastes when it comes to nutrition.
Really? Well, I'm always happy to try new exotic meals. If you ever find an intriguing table, please share the address.
Ωραία. Πήραμε κι άλλο τέτοιο. Αφού έδωσε hint, γιατί δεν άνοιξε κάτι? Να δούμε εσύ τι έχεις. Έχεις αυτό το περίεργο που δεν βρίσκω εύκολα. Αυτό δεν είναι. Αυτό πρέπει να είναι. Να τα πάρω, λες. Πάρτα. Και από εδώ λέει μπορώ να πουλήσω, Όχι, δεν θέλω να πουλήσω τίποτα. Ωραία, δεν θέλω κάτι άλλο. Λοιπόν, κάπου υπήρχε κάποιος ο οποίος φώναζε βοήθεια. Πού είναι όμως, αφού το έβλεπα πίσω από το σπίτι? Για να δούμε, έχει από κάπου αλλού να μπω στο σπίτι. Και level 29. Ωραία φίλε. Αυτή είναι δυνατή, Α, είναι πολύ δυνατή αυτή εδώ πέρα. Ενδιαφέρον. Level 29 είδα. Τι level 29 ρε φίλε? Πώς δουλεύεις? Ναι, δεν πρέπει να χάνεις γιατί το loading θα γεννήσεις μέχρι να τελειώσει. Και πού έχω βγει τώρα? Α, ακριβώς εδώ βγήκα, Για να δω κάτι. Εδώ. Να πάρω αυτό. Ωχ, καλώς το ναι. Καλώς το παιδί. Όπα, ο άλλος. Γάμο το. Πω, αυτή είναι τέτοια, Καλά, εντάξει. Μέχρι να βάλεις εσύ τις σφαίρες τώρα εδώ, έφαγε φακή το λάδι. Οκ. Πάμε πάλι. Πλάκα έχει εδώ. Ας κάτσουμε λίγο να παίξουμε. Έτσι με κάτι λίγο που να δείχνει λιγάκι δύσκολο. Yep. Άλλος από εδώ. Εδώ ήταν πριν κι αυτό. Ρε εσύ, υπάρχουν κάτι άλλοι εδώ πέρα, μεγάλοι και τρανοί. Ασχοληθείτε λίγο μαζί τους. Ω! Ρε, έχετε διάλογο από εδώ. Επ. Τι έγινε? Γιατί τόση ώρα με είχε? Ωχ, το μαλάκα ρε. Στο διάλογο που σε έχει. Πού ήμουνα πριν? Ναι, είχα πει να μπω εδώ μέσα. Εδώ τι είναι αυτό? Τίποτα. Κι όμως πριν από το δωμάτιο κάποιος είναι εδώ πέρα. Hey. Βγάλε το όπλο σου παρακαλώ από εδώ τώρα. Κάποιον ακούω να μιλάει. Εδώ υπάρχει κάποιος. Πού είναι αυτή ρε πούστη μου, την ακούω, βλέπω τα τέτοια, αλλά πού στο καλό είναι. Ακούω κάποιον που λέει somebody. Wow. Ωραία, τι ήταν αυτό που φάγα? 27 level, ωραία μαλάκα, είναι πολύ δυνατή αυτή. Πολύ δυνατή αυτή εδώ. Ωραία φίλε. Ωραία, είναι 27 level και είμαι 16. Και υπάρχει και κάποιος ο οποίος ζητάει βοήθεια. Ωραία φίλε. Πανολεθρία. Και κάποιος εδώ που ζητάει βοήθεια. Ωραία φίλε. Μπουμ. Ναι, προσπαθώ, αλλά... Πω, πολύ δυνατή, Θα μου πεις είμαι 16 και είναι 27, σαφώς. Λοιπόν, τώρα που πάω κάτω έχουμε δει τι γίνεται εδώ. Θα πάω θα ξαναμπώ μέσα στο σπίτι, θα πάω στο δωμάτιο να αναβαθμιστώ λιγάκι. Ναι. Εντάξει, με το 26 εδώ τα ψιλοβάζω. Πού ήμουνα? Τίποτα δεν του κάνω. Αυτοί κάτι πετάνε περίεργο εδώ. Λάθος. Λάθος. Πάει ο ένας. Ωραία. Yep. Κάπου εδώ εμφανίστηκε. Νάτος. Ωχ, γαμίσου. Πάμε να δούμε τώρα εδώ ποιος κινδυνεύει. Κάπου εδώ είναι. Από την άλλη μεριά. Πού είσαι εσύ που κινδυνεύεις? Πού στο διάλο είναι ρε πούστη μου? Κάπου από εδώ. Μόλις σε βρω θα έρθω. Α, πάλι αυτός εδώ ο μαλάκας είναι. Πρέπει να σε φάω όμως. Ωραία φίλε. Φύγε. Αυτή, έλα λίγο ακόμα. Φάτινε. Ναι, ωραία. Έλα τώρα, να σε βοηθήσω και σένα ρε φίλε. Άμα σε βρω δηλαδή. Έλα εδώ. Έλα εδώ.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Do you need help, sir?
I think I'm fine. Well, what happened to my jailer? Be careful. He's as vicious as he is strong.
You don't have to worry about him anymore. What happened here?
I am Tadao Kimura. I was imprisoned by this lunatic for several days. I thought I was going to die here.
You're not going to die now, Mr. Kimura. If you hurry, you should be able to get home safely.
It seems that I owe you my life. You have all my gratitude, Dr. Reed, since it is the most precious thing I possess.
Και τίποτα. Έχει αυτός hint. Αλλά μάλλον θα τα βρούμε άλλη στιγμή. Τι έχει εδώ, κάτι είχε, να πάρω. Έχω αρχίσει και κινούμε λίγο νευρικά, είναι η αλήθεια. Αφού τα κατάφερα με αυτούς εκεί. Λοιπόν, έχω ξαναπεί ότι κάτι... κάπου δεν θα έπρεπε να μου δείχνει τα quest μου. Και εδώ είναι τα collectibles. Καλά. Ζήτω που καήκαμε. Κάτσε να μπω τώρα, να γυρίσω να μπω μέσα στο σπίτι. Είχε κάτι να πάρω, ναι. Πάλι ακούω περίεργους θορύβους. Είναι ακριβώς απέναντι από το σπίτι μου αυτό. Πολύ ύποπτο. Κάτι βρήκαμε ακόμα να πάρουμε. Λοιπόν, να δούμε πρώτα εδώ τι μπορούμε να φτιάξουμε. Τι έχουμε εδώ. Έχει κάτι εδώ για το όπλο μας, γιατί το φουκαριάρικο το όπλο μας έχει μείνει πάρα πολύ πίσω. Αυτό. Και αυτό. Δεν έχω για να το κάνω level. Όχι, έχω και άλλα πράγματα να κάνω εδώ. Δεν έχω εδώ κάτι να αναλύσω, νόμιζω ότι θα είχα. Εδώ τώρα, για πνευμονία. Λοιπόν, εδώ έχω 2. Τι να κάνω τώρα, να χρησιμοποιήσω. Ας κάνω άλλο ένα. Αυτό το έδωσα. Για το cold. Για τη βρονχίτιδα και δεν έχω άλλο. Καλά, και εδώ πέρα από αυτά εδώ γίνεται χαμός. Τα οποία φυσικά δεν χρησιμοποιώ. Οπ, κάτι πήρα. Λοιπόν, επειδή όπως είπαμε αυτό το παιχνίδι ξεχνιέμαι και τα βίντεο βγαίνουν πάρα πολύ μεγάλα, θα αναβαθμίσω λίγο τον γιατρό. Λοιπόν, θα του δώσω endurance. Θα του δώσω και εδώ. Και αυτά εδώ δεν τα έχω χρησιμοποιήσει ακόμα. Αυτό εδώ πρέπει να του δώσω, γιατί θα μου χρειαστεί. Θα μπορούσα, Και αυτό τι είναι? Ωραία, θα δώσουμε και ένα confirm εδώ. Και αφού έχουμε αφήσει το γιατρό να ξεκουραστεί, θα το κλείσω εδώ και θα συνεχίσουμε σε επόμενο βίντεο. Σας ευχαριστώ που ήσασταν μαζί μου. Είμαι σαν Vampyr. Καλό σας βράδυ.